Just to be sure, there's a spoiler. While Georgie and Mandy's first marriage episode 20 did feature Audrey, Mary, Mandy, and Georgie all knotted up in a major feud, it was the Young Sheldon spin-off's breakout stars who stole the outing and set up Season 2's most exciting plot. The title of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage gives away the show's unique premise. In Young Sheldon's finale, Sheldon's older brother Georgie was happily married to Emily Osment's Mandy, and the pair were raising their first child in comparative harmony. By the time viewers met the older version of Georgie seen in The Big Bang Theory Season 11, Episode 23, The Siblings Realignment, he was divorced or separated from his ex-wife. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is designed to fill in the blanks between these two versions of the character, which is a pretty tall order for a lighthearted sitcom. Effectively, viewers already know that Georgie and Mandy's marriage will not work out for some reason or another, so it is only a matter of time until the spin-off justifies their separation. Welcome to Movie Spy. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage Episode 20 story continues Connor and Khloe's romance. Connor's romance can continue to grow in first marriage's second outing. This means that each episode of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage must strike a tricky balance. The spin-off must be upbeat and light enough to remain funny, but the central union must be fraught with enough conflict to fuel an eventual divorce. It doesn't help that Mandy's parents, Jim and Audrey, LSO, aren't a particularly stable, happy couple, and Georgie's grieving mother, Mary, has become significantly more standoffish since Young Sheldon's ending. Fortunately, the spin-off has a secret weapon in the form of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's breakout star Connor. Initially introduced as something of a Sheldon clone, Dougie Baldwin's Connor soon emerged as the unlikely MVP of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage Season 1. First, Georgie bonded with Mandy's oddball brother over his inability to impress his father, Jim, in Episode 7, and then Connor returned the favor by looking after Georgie when he fell ill in Episode 12, Typhoid Georgie. Finally, Episode 15, Goddess of the Music Store, gave Connor some well-earned time in the spotlight. Connor gained a love interest, the similarly quirky Khloe, in this outing. In Episode 20, Ladies Love Brunch, Connor finally agrees to introduce Khloe to his family, provided Mandy and Georgie are present to ensure things don't get too uncomfortable. Connor and Khloe steal the show in Ladies Love Brunch, making an awkward, tense reunion between the Cooper and McAllister families into a fun experience instead of an outright hostile affair. Ladies Love Brunch confirms Connor is first marriage Season 1's breakout star, as Mandy's brother remains a reliable scene stealer despite the show's occasionally dark tone. Connor and Khloe can be more interesting than Georgie and Mandy in Season 2. Connor's Episode 20 story sets up Season 2's most exciting arc. Connor and Khloe are key to Ladies Love Brunch, as Khloe's presence lightens up an otherwise awkward family reunion between the McAllisters and the Coopers. Mary and Audrey struggle with each other at the best of times, and Mima's unexpectedly dark first marriage plot has only made relations between the two families harder. Thus, Connor and Khloe are basically the entire reason that Ladies Love Brunch is funnier than the heavier, nastier Thanksgiving reunion between the families in Episode 5, Thanksgiving. Notably, Connor's presence also lightened up that earlier plot, as his accordion playing and Dale's jamming ensured the sad episode at least had a funny ending. Khloe and Connor play the same role here and, in the process, highlight an awkward reality about their relationship. As a new couple who are tentatively getting to know each other, Connor and Khloe are arguably more interesting and certainly more fun to follow than Mandy and Georgie. Their blossoming romance is adorably, endearingly awkward compared to Georgie and Mandy's constant conflict and sniping. What could be next for Connor and Khloe in First Marriage Season 2? Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2 needs more from Connor and Khloe. In George and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2, Connor and Khloe could take on a bigger role as the spin-off continues. This is what happened with both The Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon, which gradually changed their character priorities as they continued. While Georgie and Mandy's split will always be pivotal to First Marriage, Connor and Khloe's relationship could take on a more central role in Season 2 to provide a contrast with the couple's crumbling relationship. After all, The Big Bang Theory initially focused on Leonard's attempts to romance Penny, but the show's breakout star, Sheldon, was such a hit with audiences that the finale centered on his Nobel Prize acceptance ceremony. Similarly, Young Sheldon's premise was right there in the title, but the final season of the spin-off barely featured Sheldon and devoted much more screen time to his family. The Coopers won over viewers throughout the spin-off's run, much like Connor and Khloe emerged as unlikely heroes in Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 1. Can first marriage sustain Connor and Khloe's exciting relationship? The pair's blossoming romance contrasts well with Georgie and Mandy's marriage. Compared to Georgie and Mandy's marriage, which is inevitably doomed to fail, Khloe and Connor's relationship feels fresh in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage season 1. The fact that viewers don't already know where their union is going helps. Georgie and Mandy's pairing isn't outright failing yet, but it is not ideal either, and its end is an unavoidable, foregone conclusion. However, there are also more positive reasons that Connor and Khloe's relationship is promising for season 2. Mainly, the couple still have every major step ahead of them. Connor's sister Mandy warned him not to settle down too soon earlier in season 1, as Connor had never lived with a partner before. It is not yet clear whether Khloe has, and the couple are still quite far from tying the knot even if they do move in together outside the McAllister family home. There are a lot of relationship milestones that Georgie and Mandy blazed through to get married in time for Young Sheldon's ending, meaning their relationship always felt a little rushed. In contrast, Connor and Khloe's shared shyness and unusual personalities mean they have not yet been through a lot of these steps, and viewers could follow them on this path as the spin-off continues. Thus, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage season 2 has plenty of potential in store for its unlikely breakout stars as Young Sheldon's spin-off continues. Thanks for watching.